thought that you could make imaginary friends scary. This is a very well done spooky horror film. It's got a lot of really good build-up, suspense, and mystery, and there's some twists in the second and third act that I thought were really well done about what this imaginary friend really is, what it wants, and the rules for the story. It was all very well done. It honestly kind of reminded me of a show that was on ABC about 10 years ago called The Whispers, which was very similar. That show was about kids who were being controlled by what the parents thought were imaginary friends, but there was actually something more sinister going on with it. It kind of reminded me of that. It had a very similar plot to that. And this is one of the rare horror movies where the plot does make a bit more sense than it should given the premise. And thankfully, the second and third act twists do not ruin the film. I actually think the second and third act twists are absolutely fantastic. And I gotta praise the practical effects in this. The teddy bear and some other elements to it that I'm not going to spoil, those practical effects are all very well done. Whether that was done through puppetry or animatronics. And if there was CGI in this film, it was well done CGI. And the psychological horror is also great. Now, I wish they'd kept the mystery of the imaginary friend a little bit longer. They set it up a little bit too soon. I wish they kind of strung the audience along a little bit longer than they did, because it does lose a little bit of the mystery a bit more quickly than it should have. But that's a nitpick. Now, you're definitely going to like this more if this is one of your first horror movies. It's definitely a gateway, entry-level horror film. If you're a horror aficionado, probably not going to do that much that's different for you. But if you have a young kid, this is kind of one of the first things I want to do. This is kind of a good gateway entry movie, and I did find some similar movies to this. It reminded me a little bit of Coraline, it reminded me a little bit of Chucky, or even kind of Megan, that came out last year. So if this is a gateway level entry horror, you're probably going to enjoy this a lot more. If you're not, I don't know what you're going to think of it. I thought it was one of Blumhouse's better films, though. As far as PG-13 horror films go, this is one of the better ones. So for me, it gets an A-, 9 out of 10, and 4 out of 5 stars.